I know she was angry. I know she was angry because, like, my child failed school, but she didn't. It was like I didn't know. Like I said, myself, maybe I should have told her, but she had to see signs, and that right in that point marked me for life. That's why now I barely beat my kids. I never beat them because it's like when you beat all the time. And my stepfather, it was like they was always a double teaming. But if he took the time out, and not do the things that he did to us, he would have understood us and knew, okay, this is why these kids acting like this. But on top of what we went through already, when he came from the shelter and moved with my mother, it's like we went through double. And I haven't met anybody yet. Story has been that devastating. I counsel many couples, or many people, and many children. But when I hear their story, most of these people end up in a G building, crazy. But I don't know. I just always had this will to live, through all the beatings. I mean, my stepfather would, hang us to the door. My brother would be hanged to the door, Muslim style. And he's a Sunni, so he know how to do these things best. But we didn't know that he was a Muslim Sunni. Like at the time, a Sunni is somebody like a warrior. So he was trained, to do certain things, And then we would have some people come to the house, men, like brothers from the Muslim nation, and we felt they was trying to sell us to marry these grown men. And because our attitude was so hard, because we was like kind of tomboys, that kind of protected us. But those things scarred me. It's like one scar behind the other, one scar behind the other. And I was always tell my my boyfriend, my husband, and it's like I don't really know what's in me, because although my husband was running the street doing drugs, it's like I think my will to be a housewife supersede what he was doing. And I always say to myself, maybe he took advantage of me, but I feel like this: if a person don't love themselves, they're not gonna love you, And our marriage was, for the most part, he always provided a stability for me. If he had to kill himself, if he had to work 4 jobs, 3 jobs, he made sure. But that, to me, that was his way of staying out the house, not to deal with the situation. But the one thing in Florida that marked me, in a behavior counselor, and I worked there for a couple of years. And one pastor, when I started, but the weird thing about, after so many years of being in a Christian cult, you get brainwashed over and over, over and over again, over and again, over and over again. And they use the Bible to basically brainwash you. And I'm just a miracle that they even survived that. My kids. And it's traumatic, because now I stay in the house all day. I don't go nowhere. If I'm not going to an appointment, I'm in the house, and it took something from me, and I don't know what it took. You know, it's like I'm afraid to be by myself, alone, but then I'm afraid to be around people, and it's weird. It's something how you can have a multiple events, but still be living. I'm even surprised. Like suicide never crossed my mind. That's the amazing thing, because when I was a child, and I tried to kill myself at 13. That's the only reason why I've not killed myself yet. I kept on running back and forth. The last 3 years, I went to Florida, came back, went to Florida, came back.
And why? Why that?
Because like I had after, you know, I found I got poisoned by my housekeeper. Ain't nobody was on the level to counsel me. I was gone. So it was like, but everybody was around me was trying to get me to work on the computer, do this, do that. But I'm constantly burning in my body. I'm telling people, I am burning. I'm in pain, you know. And my friends knew if I said something, that's what it is. But nobody was listening. So then, you know, I was on the news, all across the news media, toxic effects of lead and mold and battery acid. It was all over the place. And we met up with a bishop, you know, from Jacksonville. We found out later he was living in New Jersey. And my husband, he was using drugs, but I didn't have any proof. But he wasn't on point. He wasn't taking me to the doctors. You know, he just started slacking. But then I started hearing he was cheating on me. And the woman that he with now, I found out now he was with her over 20 years. So I had some suspicion, but I was like, something ain't right, something ain't right. So the bishop, he went to counseling with the bishop. And he told the bishop his whole life. So the bishop came and told me everything. At that point, I lost all hope. It was like, that's it. And I got into infidelity. You know, at the time, as I examined my walk, I wasn't calling it a affair. Because I was like, well, he's a bishop. He knew that. It's like anybody that got raped, you don't know what it is to be raped. Because in your mind, like while he was raping me, he must have raped me over and over again, over 20 times penetration. He tore me inside, rectum. My body just shut down. And that's the beauty, that keeps me loving God, because I can't tell somebody what it feels to be raped, because I didn't feel, my whole body just went into a numbing state. And he just had his way. And I never forget that when he said to me, and this scarred me for the rest of my life. He told me, he said, get up. He said, get the F up and get out. And now people tell me, well, maybe he was angry because you didn't want to be with him no more.
And that was in the office.
You know, the hotel was the office.
The hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the church.
No. We found later on that he couldn't be in the church because he was a sex offender. He was a tier 1 sex offender. And the same way he raped me, and I didn't even know, when I left that hotel room, first of all, I couldn't even walk. And I walked through the door, and I looked at my husband in the eye, and I couldn't even, I just got in the shower, and he remembered all this. I just scorching water, washing up, scorching water. From that day forward, I can't even feel. It's like.
Did you go to the police?
Yeah. My husband finally told him that, you know, I told him I dissected the rape and the affair.
Also,
so people know, okay, I'm pregnant. I conceived out of infidelity. to the every day my husband was trying to convince me.
How many children do you have now?
I have 8 kids now.
8 kids?
Wonderful kids.
So 6 with your husband and 2
Possibly with Bishop. Yeah, possibly. And my kids are like angels to me. They survived a lot. They survived a lot. And they show a lot of signs of scars that they've been through. Because they went through from being sheltered to now being in New York City and trying to adjust, you know, being homeless, living with other people.